All right, here it is. TOEFL test day is coming up and you're probably really nervous, which is totally understandable because this test is pretty important. But also you want to try to figure out a way to control these nerves. It's really hurting your focus, hurting you, maybe your sleep. There's a lot of negative effects of being nervous. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you 5 ways to reduce your stress to help you feel more comfortable and confident when you take the test. This is for students who haven't prepared at all, or also for students who have prepared and are ready and are still feeling a little bit nervous. So let's do it together. My name is Josh MacPherson. I'm the head instructor of TST Prep, an online TOEFL school where our mission is simple: to help you get the TOEFL score you need as quickly and easily as possible. And today, let's try to reduce that stress and get you ready to take the test. So, first thing I want you to remember is that, can you make anxiety disappear? No. You will always be a bit nervous. It's just part of being human and doing something important and new. But I'm going to show you 5 ways to reduce that, to help you manage it, to help you calm down. Okay, so let's talk about them right now. The first tip is for you to prepare for the test. Now, if you're watching this and you haven't prepared for the test, you're probably thinking, okay, these tips are not going to help me. I haven't prepared. I have the test tomorrow. Don't worry. So I'm going to put this up here right now. The first 2 tips are not for procrastinators, not for people who haven't prepared. But even if your test is tomorrow, stick around. The last 3 tips will still help. So even if you haven't prepared that much, the last couple tips will still help you. The first day is always the worst. So the reason why I say preparation is so important is I want you to think about your first day at work. I remember my first day working at a pizzeria when I was in college. I didn't know the process for delivering food. I didn't know how to cook a pizza. I didn't know how to, work in the kitchen and make sandwiches. Of course, I knew some of these things at home, but at a new job, a new place, they have a process. And I didn't know any of that stuff. So I was really nervous. But after a couple weeks, after a couple months, I just walked into work really casually, comfortably, because I was prepared, because I knew how to do the job and I knew what to expect. It's the same for you. The more you prepare, the better you'll feel on test day. All right, let's get into the second tip, which is to prepare for the test conditions. So, the test conditions, the room that you're going to be in, it's going to be noisy. There's going to be a lot of people there, probably about 10 to 20 people. In the speaking section, they'll be speaking out loud. That's why it's noisy. The other sections won't be so noisy, but for the speaking, it will be. So, it's going to be hard. You want to get used to those conditions. There's a phrase, we fall to our highest level of preparation. Intensify your studies to prepare for the conditions you will encounter on test day. So basically, at home, try to practice speaking with the TV on. Go to a cafe or some other place that's busy, that's noisy, and practice taking the test. If you try to practice in a quiet, comfortable place all the time, you won't be prepared for the test conditions, which are not so quiet and comfortable a lot of the time. So you want to try to prepare for the worst. Practice speaking like you didn't understand anything from the passages. Do things that are more difficult at home so you're prepared for anything that happens on test day. And again, the more you prepare, the better you will feel, the less nervous you'll feel. All right, these next tips are for the procrastinators and for everybody. Tip number 3 is to bring a picture of the people you love. Okay. Now, this is the thing that I do most often. It's remember the people who you care about most. Your relationships are much more important and meaningful than a test score. Your family, your friends, your colleagues, these are the people that matter the most. And so what I do is that when I have to give a presentation or do something that's really scary, I usually have a picture on my phone. I have a lot of pictures on my phone, of course, but of my family. And I remember that no matter what happens, they are the most important people to me. That no matter what I do, how I perform, or how I score, these people are who is important and who are important in my life. So remember that. The test score is important. A lot of things depend on it for you. But remember that what's really important are the people in your life. Okay? So that's something that I use to try to help me relax and help me focus on the test. So I'll still be nervous and I still have to do something that's scary, but I have these relationships and those are the things that are important to me. The fourth tip that I give here is when you're nervous, you're excited. Okay, so basically you want to try to turn this nervous energy to excitement. You're doing something important. That's why you're nervous. You're nervous because it's new, you don't know what to expect, and it's important. You might have to get a score to go to a school or to get a job. That's really exciting. You know, you should be excited about this. So trying to make a mental switch in your mind from like, oh, I'm so nervous, I don't know if I'm going to get my score, like, I'm really excited, I don't know if I'm going to get my score. I know that sounds a little silly, but it is true that you are excited, okay? So try to tap into that excitement, that energy, okay? Try to get that energy to help you speak better and speak with more confidence. When you're nervous and kind of down like this and shy, it's not going to help you perform better on the test for all the sections. When you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do good. It's much better if you're like, I don't know if I'm going to do good, but let's see how it goes. I know it sounds silly, but it really does help to try to remember that you're doing something important and that's exciting and it's for your future. Okay, so try to remember that when you're taking the test. Last tip here is to focus on the moment. I'm going to give a little Chinese proverb here by the ancient philosopher. I don't know the Chinese pronunciation, but the English pronunciation is Lao Tzu, is if you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. Focus on the moment. When you're taking the test, when you're in the reading section, try not to think, what about the speaking? I don't know if I'm going to do well. Try not to think about the past. When you're doing the reading, think, oh, I should have studied more. Focus on the moment, right here, right now. This is what you're in control of. You are in control of how you perform in the moment. You have no control over the past, it's over. You have no control over the future, you don't know what's going to happen. Okay? So try to focus on the present moment to help you perform better with whatever you're doing right now. Okay, I hope you found those things helpful. So here's a pro tip. Do not do anything new a few days before the test. The TOEFL is not the type of test you cram for. So this is not like a history test where you have to remember a bunch of facts. This is an English proficiency test. Before the test, a few days, basically do the same tests you've already done, the same practice you've already done. This will help you remember the information that you've already learned and help build your confidence because you'll probably do pretty well on these tests. If you do something new, a new test, you might not do well. And then since you don't do well, it'll hurt your confidence before you take the test. So try not to do anything new, review what you've learned already, and go into the test feeling comfortable and confident. All right, so by now, really quick recap. Prepare for the test, prepare for the test conditions. Even if you don't have time and you haven't prepared, bring a picture of the people you love. When you're nervous, you're excited, and focus on the moment. I hope you guys found that helpful. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button. Visit us at tstprep.com for more TOEFL stuff, and thank you guys for watching. All right, I'll see you in the next video.